All right. Good Monday morning, you guys. Oh my goodness. Maybe fall's in the air. It's only going to be 88 here today, you guys. So that's a beautiful thing here in Texas. But you guys know me, Amy, here with Russell, Valerie, and our lovely author guest. Hopefully, will be joining us soon, Dottie Lee. But until then, you guys, let's talk about this weekend. So I am going to throw all of you guys a loophole. I pulled my tea bag out of my tea, you guys. So hold on. Okay. Anyways, I convinced Joshua to plug in my hot tub. Remember, I told you about this hot tub a long time ago. I know. And I have the outlet in my refrigerator, in my garage. I have the outlet. And so I had Josh, I finally convinced him to wire it directly into it. I had it all clean, put water into it, right? And I did mention that the screen had cracks in it, but I thought it was just on the casing of it. Well, half of my hot tub works, only half. And so I had to drain it. So now I have to clean it. So I'm going to do after the show, I'm going to go clean this like gross, I don't know, whatever came out of half the jets, right? I'm going to go clean it. But I think Josh is getting excited about it, you guys. He let me buy a new screen to put it in, like so to work. And then we have new filters come in. So hopefully after Tuesday, I'll have like a better update next week about how my hot tub is going, right? But it was exciting.
Now, where is your hot tub now?
You
Where is
guys,
it?
it's currently in my garage, okay? Because
Okay, is
that's
it going to
where
be
I
in the
have it.
backyard? Are you going to
Yes,
build a deck?
I had a okay, so long story shortish. So we got bids or quotes to put it in the backyard, right? So it's going to go all the way from the front yard where my circuit breaker is to the backyard. So we had to get bids. And oh my gosh, like so they are like huge differences depending on what company you go with, and it's not like just pricing difference. It's not labor difference. It's just weird. But anyways, so I got bids for that because I told you Josh is getting excited. He won't, if you ask him, he'll lie until you know, but I know he is. He definitely is. So, anyways, we got bids for that. So we know like what that's going to cost us to do it. And then on top of that, I convinced him to plug it in. So he like hardwired it into the outlet that I already have in my garage for a dry sauna, right? So we had hot wired and we had wired it directly into it. It's kind of ghetto, but it works. We just need to make sure the hot tub works. Now that we know only half of it works, we're going to like troubleshoot because we don't want to move it to the back until it's working. I don't want to invest the money to do an outlet back there until it's working. So that's currently an update on my hot tub. You guys stay tuned. I'm going to do like a whole hot tub series weekly update, but that's currently what's happening. But on top of that, you guys, my weekend was, fun and eventful and disappointing. It was fun and eventful because UTSA finally won a football game. UT won, UH won. Heck yeah. And it was disappointing because you guys know I'm not an Aggie fan, and the Aggies beat Notre Dame by one friggin' point, and that was a hard pill to swallow for me. So, needless to say, that was a hard pill. But
Okay,
other than
just
that, it was great.
say something good for the Aggies. I got to tell you, they looked good. They
It
look
was a
like they're
great
ready to win some games.
It was a great game. Their second half, they are a second half team. So the second half was way better than the first half. So they did look fantastic. LSU also won, which is fantastic. My dad's a big LSU fan. So that was fantastic. But my weekend in a nutshell was that I was getting hyped about my hot tub because I plugged it in on Thursday, and now I'm dreading having to clean all that stuff that came out of it, but I have to. But I'm gonna get my screen and stuff tomorrow, and you bet your bippy I'm gonna make Josh put it in tomorrow because I am impatient. I am an impatient
Okay, I
person.
am now actually a little interested besides just laughing at you because I am considering putting money if I'm considering putting a hot tub in the back of the money pit that I'm
Uh,
building right now.
uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm
Well, I
actually
will let you
interested in how
know.
much you use it.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I'll let
wait
you
till see
know.
yours goes.
Well, so again, I bought it off an estate sale because I'm a sucker and
No,
I
because you're
won't
smart.
pay.
That's a smart buy. That's not a
Yeah,
sucker buy.
I won't pay, thousands and thousands of dollars for it. But the brand that I have a Master Spa Twilight series. It was manufactured in 20. So I don't know when it was purchased, but it was made in 20. And it's like a corner unit. So it's just a 3-person unit. So it makes like a
You
triangle.
only need two.
I know. Well, and like, if my kids want to do it, I didn't need this 12-person one or a 6-person one.
You
I didn't
don't
need
need
any of
that
that.
crap. You're not going to
No,
use it.
Yeah, so this one was perfect, and it came with the cover and everything like that, right? And it was like, even after paying to have them delivered, it was like not even a third. It was like less than a third of
You're
what.
not a sucker if you use it.
Yeah, and if I can fix it, and I've been doing pretty
Oh,
pre
you'll fix it.
so, I will let you know. I'm excited about it, especially in like the holiday time, because here in Texas, not that it gets cold, but for us Texans, when it's 70 outside, it's kind of cold. Okay. When for us Texans, it gets like that. So I'm excited to use it, but I will let you know how often I use it and like the upkeep and stuff. But I'm never not going to recommend it because I like those kinds of things.
I think y'all are going
Valerie,
to use it a lot. The kids are going to love it.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Yes.
we'll
I am
see. We'll
sure.
see after a month how much they use it. That's my question.
Well, the thing is, you're going into the middle of fall, and I mean, it's going to be hot for a while, so you're going to be okay.
Well, but it gets cooler at night. And
Yeah.
like, I am one of those moms that I detox at the end of the night with like I soak in my bathtub. And when we moved into this house, I got the jetted bathtubs, what I'd always wanted. So that's just like a bigger version of it. But I am one that detoxes like that. So I won't, I mean, besides bugs, I don't like being outside with bugs hitting me. So we're gonna have to see. But other than that, I will keep you posted for sure. But what all did you guys do this weekend? I hope it was more eventful than mine, but I don't know what's more eventful than a broken hot tub. But we will get it working. So
Wow.
Go ahead, Russell.
you
Okay.
go.
Well, this weekend was one of those weekends that my wife and I had to look at each other and say, "This is why we moved to Houston."
Mm-hmm.
Because we did not have to fly in, so we weren't having to travel for family events. And Friday night, my now 4-year-old twin, the granddaughters had their birthday. It was total chaos, total disaster, total mess. You guys can imagine.
Mm.
And then Saturday morning was other granddaughter's soccer game in Houston heat, Houston summer. And but by the way, we took Rita. She was perfect the whole time in the huge crowd and all the cheering and stuff. Rita was cool. Rita's making a great dog, by the way. She just goes everywhere with us. But so this was the kind of weekend that we actually moved back to Houston for. Uh, and we discovered a new French bistro, 505,
Oh,
515 or 505, that has incredible, it's a little bitty place. It has incredible French country cooking. It was just spectacular. And so it's the actual place where I'm going to get to eat meat once a week. They were set up the next 2 or 3 weeks. That's where we're going. So it was
nice.
spectacular.
I
Nothing
don't
big.
I
Just,
love it. Valerie, what about you?
It was
yeah.
pretty
How many
low key.
margaritas did you drink? That's the
None,
big task for your
unfortunately.
weekends.
I'm really sad that I didn't because I had antibiotics for an ear infection, which I feel like ear infections creep up on you. Like
Yeah.
you have like a sinus infection and you're like, no, I'm just stuffy. It's Houston allergies. No, no. And then all of a sudden your head's like, So anyway, so yes, we went to the beach and just enjoyed the weather. The weather was so nice, so nice. And then watched the game. We were watching that LSU game, Amy, for a while, and then we left, and then we started watching the A&M game. And I'm not like a big. I love football. I love football, so I'm a sucker for any game. But that was
Yeah.
a good game.
See, I
That
always
was a
thought
good.
you were cool,
Yeah.
Valerie, and now I know why. I mean, you love football. There's
There
nothing
you
I
better.
go.
I have loved football since I was in high school when I was a cheerleader during high school and I was the
I'm so
cheerleader on the side of the
shocked.
I but I was the cheerleader like watching the game because I'd be like and they'd be like saying something I was like no we're defense right now don't you see that we're off all that even growing up I would watch the Oilers with my dad and and all the football with my dad and when I met Dan Pastorini at an event like a long time ago I was just like Dan Pastorini, oh my gosh, and the nicest guy. But just having that little fangirl moment because football.
I get that. Dan Pastorini's not a bad guy for a Houston girl to have a fangirl moment about. I mean,
No, he
he's
is
cool. He
seriously.
races. He dragsters. I mean, the guy has lived a wild, great life.
Yeah, he's very
Yes.
community centric, doing all kinds of fundraisers and stuff here in Houston. But so yeah, football.
Okay, I
Nice.
have a first thing I need to thank our listeners that are listening to us. Uh, it's we're like top 1% on some podcast channels, top 10% on others. We're very grateful about it, and we've been on there for 9 years. Coming January, I think, isn't that right, Amy?
Yep.
And we're very grateful about it. For a long time, I couldn't find us, but after Amy changed some of the whatever she changed, the colors or something, even I could find us. Amy, where can people find us on the podcast channels?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I rebranded us, so I did change the colors and stuff, but I also updated all of our keywords. Did all the fun nerdy stuff behind scenes. But yes, you guys also can find us. So we all are super confident that you can find us anywhere that you can find a podcast. So my go-to is always Amazon Music or Spotify. You can go over to Good Pods, you can go over to iTunes, Google Play, YouTube if you want to watch us, and our Facebook group. You can come on over there and engage with us. We love answering questions live in time or after the fact if you comment them later. But any of those channels, you can come and find us. But you guys, I have a question for everybody. For everybody listening, for Valerie and Russell, I have been pondering doing something different. So hang with me here as I walk you through this ponderment of something different. Hey, Dottie, how are you?
I'm great. A little logging problem, but I'm here, ready to go.
It
Hey,
happens.
it's all good. It's Monday. It
We're
happens
on the
all the
air
time.
already.
You are just fine. I was fixing to ask everybody's opinion. So if you're listening to this now, or you are listening to it later, or you know me personally and you want to give me your personal opinion in a DM, you're more than welcome to do that. You guys know I'm an open book. I am looking to do something that's just for me. Abundantly Social is for authors, right? I've enjoyed doing that. I love doing that. That's never going to go away. But I read a hell of a lot of books, okay? Like a lot of books. I do. And I listen to a lot of books. So I thought about just starting my own review channel, strictly just on books that I've read that I enjoy reading. I would take recommendations, but I've read so many books already that I kind of just want to keep it and maintain it as something that I enjoy doing. And so I want your thoughts on if I should start a review channel or not, because it's pondering in
When
my
you say a
mind.
channel, what does that mean? A
YouTube?
review
Like an
channel.
just like an Instagram account. I'm not going to do like a
So you're
YouTube
just
channel.
mean a social, just a social
Um,
account.
I guess. I mean, I haven't worked out all the details, Russell. I haven't
I
worked all
mean,
those out.
where
But
you should
yeah,
do it
Are
is
you lagging away?
TikTok.
no, I think
Where
it's
you should
more.
do it is TikTok.
I mean, yes, I could. I could do that. But I
And because
wanted
of the
it to
kind of
be
books
like,
you read, it should be TikTok, according to your own arguments.
Russell, don't use my words against me. Stop that.
Am I right? Tell me I'm
No, I
right.
know. And I've thought about it. I have TikTok downloaded on my phone, which is like the first step in getting out of my despise for it. Okay. But my thought is I want other people's opinions because I can get in my head sometimes, right? Like
It
all of
thinks a
us
lot. It
can.
sounds like a lot of work and less and not much more profit to me.
Well, I'm not doing it to make money. I've read just year to date, right? Because I finished a book last night. I found a new book today, right? But I've read 115 books. I've listened to 45 audiobooks just this year. Okay. That's just this year. Some are published and some aren't published, right? But still, and so my thought is it something that, like, would you be interested in my like open opinions, right? Because it will be
Yes.
an open opinion of like reviews, and if I should do that. So like, you don't have to answer me now, but like, just pass the thought around in your mind, like I am doing in mine. Because sometimes I get on these wild hairs and I just start new things, and then I'm like, oh crap, what have I gotten myself into, right? So let ponder it. If you want to give me your opinion, you can. If not, I'm cool with it. But it's just an idea that's percolating that I don't know. I have all these opinions about these books that I've read. So
Okay, what
just
did
food for
Josh
thought.
say?
Russell, Josh is going. I in Josh's mind, I should do it in Josh's mind. But then again,
because he's afraid of you. That's
that's what I was going to say. He's not going to say no. So, one of the things. So just like percolate it, let it see like how you guys feel about it and like how I am, because I don't want to get like a wild hair and I don't want to start something that, it's going to take a lot of time.
But if it's Amy, if it's just for fun, I mean, it's just for fun for you. And I mean, who can provide better insight than you, who've read so many across so many different genres, and even the authors you've met. I think it's a great idea, and just don't take it seriously. Just it's just like, hey, I really want to share like thoughts on this book. It was so cool, or whatever. But I think that's a cool thing.
We'll see. We'll see. I feel like me and Russell kind of feel the same way about it. So I don't know. We shall see for sure. But I do have a new book, Russell. I'm going to tell you this. I found a new book that's similar to like your Wattpad that we had the conversation about a while ago.
We need that. Talk about Wattpad again. Would you please tell the listeners what Wattpad is before we start?
Yeah, so there's many different versions of it. So Wattpad is just like you read a book kind of like scene by scene or like as it's going. It's not like a published novel. It's like a web-based novel, like food for thought kind of thing. There's several of them. I have a lot of different app-based ones on my phone. And for me, you pay like coins to get X amount of chapters, right? So if it's a good enough story, I will do that. If it's not, and it's like 500 chapters, which is 500 scenes, and it's not worth it, then I won't do it. But it's just a digital way of writing and not having to necessarily publish your book. But published books have come from it. So if you have the Dream app, if not, go and look it up. DREAME is the app. And there's a ton of different genres and stories on there. But Melissa Gilbert wrote one, and it was like it's like started off as like a werewolf and then a lichen, and then it went to like, metaphysics. So it went on to like all these different worlds, I guess, is like how it went all into one. But they ended up becoming actual published works of like art. They're published, they're up on Amazon, you can do them, but they all start on a platform similar to like a Wattpad, these app-based driven, coin-driven, scene-by-scene kind of narratives. And they are fantastic books. I've read some really great. Some of the 115 books that I've read are on these platforms. So I always recommend going and looking. There's genre specific, or there's multi-genre ones, but I always like recommend going and do them. I think I have like 10 different app-based ones on my phone, and I just kind of pop around and
now,
enjoy
you
them.
said you found a book.
I did. Yes, I did. And it is, Russell's going to laugh at the title of it. So let me pull it up because we all need a good laugh from Russell, right? Yes. Okay. So this one is called, hold on, Watch Me Win Alpha. So it's a werewolf one, which you guys know I'm not really big into like fantasy, paranormal. It's not like my jam, but I will read it. But this one's called Watch Me Win Alpha. And the reason I got into it was because I had seen their ad on Facebook. They're running a Facebook ad. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but it has like an image, or it'll have like the text overlay on a video, like modern music to it. But they post like the first 2 or 3 chapters as the copy. And then it links it, and you can read the first like 5 or 6 chapters for free. And generally the first 2 sentences is what kind of captures me. And then I'll go directly to the end to see like, okay, what cliffhanger are you leaving me on? Right. And the cliffhanger was just like, he tried to like screw her out of her, I don't even know, like pack. So it was her pack, and he married her, right? In this wolf kingdom. Everybody, if you know and you follow like alpha and like wolves, like correct me if I'm wrong, but it was her pack, and he married her to take it over. And then now he's like cheating on her, so she's leaving him, and he's like, watch me take your pack. And I'm like, oh hell no. So now I got invested, because I was like, well, that's not gonna happen. So it's like one of the few werewolf books that I have read and I am reading, because that's not really like my genre. But it's just food for thought that 1, these app-based things work, but 2, running these ads, you get suckers like me who get hooked, and then you leave me on a cliffhanger. I don't like cliffhangers. So then I'm invested, right? So now I'm invested. I'm reading scene by scene, and I may change and end up liking, this paranormal realm. It may, you may have a new person. So it's just food for thought. It's totally different, but that is the one that I'm reading. I am halfway through it. So, we'll see how it goes. I'll give you an update on it, but just there
How
are
does that
different
fit
ways
into
of
your
reading.
schedule? How does that fit into your schedule if you're trying to do like a print book and then an audio book and then you've got your app book and all these things?
Yeah,
Are you
I
just
read
you
a
have
Plus,
lot
to
you
at
have to
theme it?
night.
rebuild a hot tub.
Yeah, I read at night. So I only get like 4 hours of sleep. And so I read at night is generally like when I read. And
Yeah.
so I probably read from like 10 to 1:32, and then I'm up about 6:15. But that's my jam. But I will be
Yeesh.
completely honest with you. I am also a slow reader. So it's kind of one of those where I may have to like repay, like sometimes when you do these like Wattpads or app based novels, sometimes you kind of got to reread it because you're like, this doesn't make sense. And you're like, oh, okay, my bad. Like you cannot be like super tight on grammar when you're reading these, okay? Because they're fresh, they're not edited. That's not how it works. And so, sometimes I'll like drift off doing those, but I read at night. Like that's just, I don't know. I'm weird and I'm
Yeah.
nocturnal. So, but an audiobook, I'll listen to an audiobook all day because I'll put headphones in when like I'm not doing author talk. I'll put headphones in and I'll do my stupid laundry. I don't know why people, that's the only reason I will fold it. And like I'll listen to my audiobook, and then when I go wait for my kids and I sit there for 2 hours, I'll listen to my audiobook. So then I can knock out an audiobook in like a day and a half. Those
Right.
don't, those don't take a whole lot of time. But speaking of books and all these things and these crazy things happening, Dottie, you have a children's book series. Is that right? Francis the Flamingo? Is
I
that
do.
right?
Yes, it's a series, The Adventures of Francis Flamingo.
Oh, and I love it. The artwork is beautiful. And then are you local to the Houston area?
I am. I'm in Houston near Katy.
Oh, wonderful. Valerie and Russell are in Houston. I'm up here in Bryan at College Station. But Valerie, let's get Dottie talking about her Flamingo series, some children's events and book signings that she has coming up at the Houston Library. So Valerie, take it away.
Okay, Dottie, please share us first about how you got started into doing children's books.
Oh, well, I started doing nonfiction. I was doing into memoir, and was wanting to share my adventures in my first marriage, being married to an alcoholic. And I'm still working on that. It's tentatively titled Love, Addiction, and the Art of Letting Go. And I hope to publish. This is 15 years ago I started working on this. And this year, next year, 2026, is going to be published. But it's such a hard topic to be reliving that part of my life again. I saw an ad for a children's book writing course. I don't want to do that. I'm doing my memoir, but I did it anyway. And then I started getting involved with SCBWI, and then we developed Francis Flamingo Prima Ballerina, and then that was in 2023, and then I did the Spanish version of it, and then the next year I published the next book, Francis Flamingo Rainbows and Roller Skates. And this coming fall, it is fall, but by the end of the year, I have Francis Flamingo Soccer Star. And even though they're about skating and soccer and ballet, it's basically the themes are trying new things, making new friends, not giving up, kind of like the stories of my own memoir, but on the children's level, and always and helping others.
That's amazing. And how did you choose Flamingo for your primary character?
Well, I had read stories about the Houston Zoo getting ready to build their new flamingo habitat. And so
Yes, I saw that.
and I'm wearing my flamingo shirt, as you can tell, to get into the mood. And so flamingos are fun. And I didn't really realize how popular they were till the book came out. But I've been very blessed that it's been doing so well. And, and my message to others is, just because you might be later in life, it doesn't matter whether you're 80 or or 8. There's never too late to do what your heart desires. I was 77 when I published my first book. And that meant going to learn how to publish. And that was like earning a PhD in publishing for sure.
And had you always wanted to do a children's book, or just it kind of evolved into it?
I always did. I'm a voracious reader. And growing up, I lived across the street from the public library. So I was reading and writing, and I grew up in the 50s. So it was like I had a Tom Thumb typewriter for Christmas, and I'd be typing out my stories on my Tom Thumb typewriter. And that's how I got started, always wanting to read and write.
Mm-hmm. So what has been the hardest part of your journey as an author, do you believe?
Well, it's been so exciting. I just can't.
Oh, we can't hear you.
We lost you.
We lost Dottie. We lost you.
We can't hear you.
We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
She probably accidentally pushed a button.
Yes. Well, let's see.
I think it connected to like a Bluetooth. I think that's what happened.
I hate that. That has happened to me before at a market, and I'm like,
What?
I'm trying to, and it'll pick up other people's Bluetooth, like headphones or something.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's happened to me before. How exciting, publishing 3 books in a row.
Oh.
I don't know. She got to sign out, sign back in.
I would just, I'll talk here, and can you see me?
There you go.
We can hear you now. We couldn't hear you before.
Yes. Can you see me?
We can see you.
Okay, all right. So I've got one laptop doing the audio, one doing the video. So we're all set.
Fun. I love it.
Where did I leave off?
Valerie, where did she leave off? That's what she's asking.
We were talking about the journey
It's
as
never
an author
too late.
of just, it's never too late.
Like I say that, I was 77 when I published my first book, and learning the process of self-publishing. And that was really an exciting adventure, and all the people that I met that helped me along the way. And my message to other people is it's never too late. If you have something in your heart that's telling you I have this story I want to write, and you need to do it. It doesn't matter how old you are. There's always somebody out there. And that's why I'm doing the memoir workshop at the Houston Public Library, just for those people who said, one day I'm going to write my story. Well, one day is going to be the 27th of September. So show up, and I will guide you through the basics of getting started with writing your memoir.
Mm-hmm. And so you're going to be presenting to other interested authors, or are you going to be doing a reading? What you going to be doing?
Well, I'm back for the memoir workshop. You need to sign up through the Houston Public Library, the Kendall branch, and we'll be there for an hour to talk about the basics. And if all goes well, we might have more workshops coming up. And then on this Saturday at 11 a.m., I'm doing a reading with Frances Flamingo, prima ballerina, and I've been a ballet teacher for decades, and so that's how I started with that. And teaching my children, we've been doing this. We start out basically, then we start a new step, and I can't do that. Oh, Miss Dottie, I can't do that. Well, it's not. You can't do it. It's not hard. It's just new. And once we get past the new stage, then they blossom. Oh, okay, and so that's why another thing I wanted my books to be encouraging. That these children seem to have so much pressure on themselves if they compare themselves to their parents or to other people, and they see someone else do something so easily, and if they have to struggle just a little bit, many of them want to give up. And I even had that with my own children, and I want to encourage children to work through it. No strain, no gain, as I'd say. Just get on through it. Even with my my learning to self-publish, that was a lot of strain. But once you master it, it's all new. Once you learn it, hey, easy peasy. So that story is going to be read on this Saturday, and we're reading the story. And then we're going to do a little ballet class. I can't do, if I have little people there, I have to do ballet with them. So that's going to be fun. And then we're going to do a book signing. So they have a chance to meet me in person and meet Frances at the same time. And then in October, there's the third week of October, my other book is Frances Flamingo, Rainbows and Roller Skates. We're going to do a read aloud for that at the same branch. And that'll be fun. We're going to talk about the same core values as well as safety measures while you're roller skating. Where do you for children, where do you roller skate? What do you wear when you roller skate? Everything has a uniform, whether you're doing ballet or roller skating or soccer. So that you have to have the right attire. So I'm excited to meet children.
I think, immersing the reader and the kids, it really gets them excited about the story. Do you feel like that?
Oh, story is really amazing. And the read aloud part is reading to my grandchildren. It's just amazing what they come up with. And I have 8 grandchildren, 6 of them are girls. And reading and the youngest ones are 8 and 5. And we'll be reading the story and the Frances Flamingo or something in the flock and say, is that Frances's boyfriend? Frances said, what do you know about, a 5-year-old know about boyfriends? And I'm like, well, that's her friend. It's a boy, but you can have friends. But when we talk about boys and girls and boyfriends and, as much as you can explain them when they're 5, but they seem to be so wise about the world that even at that age. And then my granddaughter says, Grandma, I have a boyfriend. I go, oh my gosh. And my first question wanted to be, does he have a job? But I thought, well, I'll wait for that for a few more years before I get to that.
Okay, that was a funny joke. I like that, Dottie. Does he have a job?
Well, I'll give her a few more years before we go throw that one. I could try that one with the older girls. It opens conversations. You don't even know. We're going through a picture book or whatever, and they'll pick out a picture and, well, what's that? And then they want to know the meaning. Their inquisitive minds just warm my heart. I just love that, and be able to be the one to teaching them. And I've taught so many young children to do ballet and dance. Now, I had a studio in Katy for 20 years, and to think that for many of them, I am their first dance teacher. Their first experience with dance was through me. I feel so honored that their parents had given me that privilege to instill my love of dance in their children.
And it sounds too like your overall message. I love that. Why did you feel that was important to share with your character?
Oh, because that is life, all the challenges that we go through, and if we give up at every challenge that we meet, we're going to be not going to accomplish much in this life. And we're all here for a purpose, and the bottom line for why we're here is to help one another in some way. And some people might write books and write stories, or others are doctors or nurses or podcasters putting out more information, but we all have a purpose, so you can't give up on your purpose.
So I know, since you're a fairly new writer, I guess, putting all these books out so quickly, what has been the most challenging thing for you how you could help other aspiring authors to maybe, embrace it?
Well, when it comes down to it, writing is the easy part of it. You got the story and just sitting there, that's writing with it. And for many authors, they don't understand the marketing part of it. Being in business for so long, and I have an MBA from UT Austin, and I understand the marketing point of it. If you have, I tried to tell everybody, even because I was this weekend doing a vendor market, and people were coming, oh, I want to write a book. And I said, okay, well, meet me on Saturday. And by the way, tell everybody but I'm not a writer. I didn't really get this imposter syndrome. I couldn't be a writer. It's me. I said, of course you're the writer. You're the one with the story. And start And the minute you get that idea in your head, start telling all your friends, putting it on Facebook. I'm writing a story. It kind of gives you the accountability. Oh, I put it out there. Maybe I better do something about it. And then your friends are asking you, how's your book? Oh, let me hear it. Did you read it, do a chapter yet? So that kind of helps you get along. And by the time you come to publishing it, however long it takes you, you're not starting from square one. My book is going to be out next week. Buy my book. Your book? About what? You have a book? Oh, so you've got all this groundwork laid. And that is so important as far as marketing. And there is a part, even if you're writing your book just for your family, just to have people know about it is important.
I totally agree. Yes. And Ink Society Press, tell me about that. How did you become connected with that?
Well, that's me. And I just, I had some counseling through Toby Habercorn from Houston. She's my mentor through SCORE. And she did a great job. And she's the one who told me about Amy. And has helped me along. And Self-Publishing Made Simple is another children's book program that kind of guides you along. And they don't do it for you, but they tell you what to do and how to do it. And they have open office hours. And so that was a very big help in getting the story written.
Heck yeah.
When you're self-publishing, it's there's lots of books, and I've read 2,000 books probably before I even started getting help in person. But where do you go for where you're an illustrator? Where do you go to get a copyright? You need a copyright? Yes, you do. ISBN, what's that? All these strange terms and words that no one's ever heard of, that they couldn't even imagine that you have to do all of that to write their story. So
it's a lot to learn. I feel, even trying to remember back, and it's been years since I've published my last book, and I'm like, I feel like I need a refresher if I need to, start again, if I want to do a new book. I feel like, there's always more you need to know. And there's never, you never know everything. And even in marketing, which is, having someone like Amy, advise or, guide you, or even your publishing company, that's a great thing.
And the thing is, once you learn it, it's not static. It's going to change. It's going to change. And so what I learned 3 years ago has already changed. Oh, you don't do this anymore. This is a better procedure to do this. This is a better app to use. I can't say, oh, I can't use the computer. Well, you can. Just like I tell my ballet students, yes, you can. You just have to learn it. There's nothing you can't do. You just have to try. Who was it? Pink that had the song "Try." That is one of my favorite songs. You just try.
And you have to take the advice of your character.
Yes.
I'm telling you, Google is your friend. YouTube is your friend. To figure things out and to learn. Especially now, like just in publishing a book, it changes. It used to change not so rapidly, but now it's just like, I feel like every other month there is like some kind of difference or change that's happened. And you're just like, oh my gosh, right? Like, one of the examples, Dottie, I don't know if you know about this, but after this, you're going to know about it if you didn't. But like now KDP, right, is now feeding to libraries, right? Before you had to be on Ingram Spark to do that. Then you got totally screwed out of money being on Ingram Sparks because they make money off of authors. But now being on Amazon and KDP will feed to libraries, like public libraries, right? So the game is changing, right? Which is fantastic. Hopefully authors will then make more money and not spend more money for their books, right? So it's just, you have to be on top of it. And I like how you said, like, you don't know what you don't know. You have to just get out there and you have to try and you have to learn it. And that's definitely a proactive one. So kudos to you, Dottie, getting out there doing it, girl. I love it. I love to hear it.
I want everybody else to do it too. And that's what I want to encourage everyone who has that story in their heart to get it out on paper. Put it out there. You can do it.
Mm-hmm. And teaching a workshop and doing a reading and all these things. That's awesome. That's so awesome.
Oh, it's so fun. Like I said, meeting the kids, and I did one this weekend, and the kids, I just love them. And this one little girl says to me, "How old are you?" I'm very proud of my age, so she's asking the right person. And I said, "Well, how old do you think I am? 1 million?" I go, well, kind of close, but no, I'm 79. Oh, 79, wow.
And you're still going. And
I
I know you
know.
said you have the next book coming, the third book in the Flamingo series. Do you have one already in mind for after that?
I'm starting another series. I don't know. I go where God leads me, and my next series is called Tutus and Tiaras, and it's about two little girls. One live next door to one another, and the new girl moves in, and she's in a wheelchair, and the other little girl is a ballerina and goes to visit her, and she wants to be a ballerina so bad, but she's in a wheelchair. So she comes over to her friend's house, and they try on tutus, and then they figure out how they can dance in a wheelchair. She does a wheelchair dance. Now, I teach dance for people with Parkinson's and Alzheimer's, and Alzheimer's people are just so close to my heart. They're very much like the children that I love so much. They're very honest and very open, and you see that spark. And when I play music, I usually start out my class with, I feel good, yada, 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 yada. Well, that just sparks them all. From that generation, they are up and dancing. Reminds them of the good times that they've had. They have that little spark. They might not remember much, but music kind of feeds their soul. And that's another way.
I love your energy. I love your positivity.
I
I think it's going to be so contagious when you're doing your presentations.
I love
Well,
it.
I just love it so much and have so much fun with it that I mean, I feel this is what I'm supposed to do. And now I'm, like I said, going more to the healing side. I'm a healing touch practitioner as well, so I've done healing work with hospice in that realm too. So I understand death and dying, and nothing to be afraid of. We're all here until we're not. So keep busy, keep getting busy.
So true, so true.
I love it.
Russell, do you have any
I love
questions?
it.
Yes. Where can the listeners look up your schedule so they can see where you are and what you're doing?
Well, they can go for the library events. Just go to the Houston Public Library, check their calendar. That's where I will be. And if they go to my website, which is thedottylee.com, I don't have a calendar of events yet, but I'm working on that. That's another thing I had to learn, website design, because God forbid I pay anybody to do it on my budget. So just go to thedottylee.com. And
Okay, maybe you can type into the comments below here after the show your schedule. Maybe you can post it there.
Okay. Yeah.
I have the website too that's going, so it's in the comment section, so you guys can go and check that out. But Dottie, I'm glad that you could get on and that you could share your story, because I'll be completely honest with you, Dottie, I have seen your books in the authors promotional group, which I manage, and I see them, and they are the cutest books ever, the illustrations and everything, and I see them all the time. And so I know that you're getting your hustle on, and I thoroughly appreciate it. And I find enjoyment in an author that goes and works it and gets out there in front of people, and your positivity, and you're doing all these cool things. So I also have the places and the dates that Dottie will be doing her workshop, and that she'll be at the Houston Public Library and Kindle, I believe. I'll post all that because I have it in an email. But go and support local authors, you guys. We love doing that, and we love supporting and just being and talking with local authors. But Dottie, girl, you get it. You just get out there and go get it. I love to hear it. I love everything about what you're doing. And so just a big kudos to you. And I just want to thank you for taking time out of your morning to come and hang out and tell us all about your books and where people can get in touch with you and can come see you.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed being here and just telling you all that I do. And I'd love to come back again when my new book comes out, Francis Domingo, Soccer Star. And it'll be by the end of the year to next year when FIFA is going on in Houston. So that's going to be a big deal.
Perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. You are welcome back anytime, Dottie, anytime. Well, you guys, stay tuned for my hot tub update, son. We're going to get this baby working. Okay, we're going to do it. So stay tuned for that. But you guys, we hope everybody has a fantastic Monday, a great rest of your week. Go and enjoy this coolish weather. And until next week, bye for now, everybody.